You guys have no idea how excited I am about this video, guys, because I have got my hands on Intel's newest 10th gen i9 flagship gaming CPU, and along with that we've also got Gigabyte's latest Z490 motherboard, and in this video we'll be checking them out. Hey guys, this is Vimal here and welcome back to another video on my channel. Now I know you guys have been waiting for this video since such a long time, and let me tell you, it was worth your wait, because I finally got my hands on Intel's latest 10th gen flagship CPU, guys, the Intel i9 10900K. I think we are the first person to ever get our hands on this Intel CPU in India, and I'm like really excited, super excited about this. And not just the CPU, guys, we got a brand new motherboard for this 10th gen CPU from Gigabyte. This is the Z490 Aorus Master, and it packs some really good features. The i9 is literally a beast, guys, and Intel claims that this is the world's fastest gaming CPU with 10 cores, 20 threads, and it can be overclocked up to 5.3 GHz, guys, the max turbo clock frequency. And I'm like super excited. So first what I'll do is we'll just unbox and quickly check out this components, and then I'll tell you all the highlights about these products. So let's get started. So here it is, guys, a brand new Z490 series motherboard made for the new Intel 10th gen CPUs. This one is from Gigabyte and the model is called as Z490 Aorus Master. It's a high-end gaming motherboard that features a brand new LGA 1200 socket and a lot of other features which we'll be talking about in this video. Okay, so that was about the motherboard, but you might ask, where is the CPU? Well, feast your eye on this. Intel's newest 10th gen Core i9 Comet Lake S CPU. This is their flagship model, and Intel claims that this is the world's fastest gaming processor. Oh boy, that sounds awesome, right? I can't wait to see what this baby can do. At first, when I got the package, I was like surprised to see the CPU. It came in such a tiny box with just the CPU inside and nothing else. Anyways, here it is, the Core i9 10900K. This is a monster, guys. It's based on 14nm lithography, is a 10-core 20-thread beast with a base clock frequency of 3.7 GHz and a max turbo clock frequency of 5.3 GHz. The new 10th gen CPUs also come with something known as Max Turbo Boost 3.0 and Thermal Velocity Boost, which is sort of like auto overclocking feature. We'll talk about all that at a later part in the video. So that was our quick unboxing on Intel's brand new i9 10900K. Now we'll keep this aside and check out the new Z490 motherboard from Gigabyte. Gigabyte has launched a lot of different models for different type of users. The one we have right now is a high-end gaming motherboard, the Z490 Aorus Master. This thing comes with pretty sweet features like a 14-phase digital VRM solution, a new thermal design, has PCIe 4.0 hardware, so it's future-proof as well for the next-gen Rocket League CPUs. So this motherboard basically has everything you would need. Here it is, a new MOBO nicely packed, and below that you've got some accessories which includes an Aorus sticker pack, a user manual and an installation guide, a Z490 driver CD, and the usual cables and stuff. Not to forget, it also has next-gen connectivity like on-board Wi-Fi 6. Now let me show you how the motherboard looks like. Oh my god, the Z490 Aorus Master in all its glory. Wow, now that is one beautiful looking MOBO. Let me give you all a closer look and talk about all of its features. Alright guys, that was our unboxing part. So now what I'll do is I'll tell you all the highlights and special features about Intel's new i9 CPU as well as the new Z490 motherboard from Gigabyte. First, let's start with the CPU, guys. Let's talk about the CPU. So this is Intel's 10th gen, the Comet Lake S CPUs, and out of that we've got the flagship i9 CPU in our room. So this is the i9 10900K, which is a beast and the world's fastest gaming CPU as claimed by Intel. It's a 10-core 20-thread CPU with a base clock frequency of 3.7 GHz and a max turbo boost clock frequency of around 5.3 GHz. And this CPU is based on the same 14nm lithography which was found on the previous gen CPUs. Coming to the boost frequencies, here's a catch, guys. So let me just quickly explain in simple terms like how does this whole thing work. So before we talk about the CPU boosting and the max turbo clock frequency and all that, let me tell you that these new Intel 10th gen CPUs come with something known as Max Turbo Boost 3.0 as well as thermal velocity boost, guys. So these are something new that will help you get the max peak clock frequency on these CPUs. First, let's talk about the all core clock frequencies, and then we'll come back to the single core clock frequencies. In the all core clock frequencies, what happens is usually the turbo boost allows the CPU to run all of its cores at a max of 4.8 GHz. But when certain conditions are met and the chip is functioning under 70 degrees centigrade temperature, that time thermal velocity boost kicks in and allows the CPU to be slightly overclocked up to 4.9 GHz on all of the cores. So that is a max all core clock frequency you can get on all the cores, which is 4.9 GHz. Coming back to the single core max turbo clock frequency, so usually the normal turbo boost allows a single core max clock frequency of around 5.1 GHz. This happens most of the time. But when certain conditions are met, as I've told just now, the previous dialogue, when the chip is functioning under 70 degrees centigrade, then thermal velocity boost will kick in and overclock a single active core up to 5.3 GHz. Now that is what I'm talking about, guys. But again, I guess that will be really tough. We'll have to test and see how this CPU performs. Will we be able to hit 5.3 GHz at peak loads, and also for how long will it be able to maintain that frequency? We'll be talking about all that in my next video maybe, where we'll be doing a review on this CPU and we'll be doing all sorts of benchmarks, gaming performance test and all that, guys. So that is how boosting on this 10th gen CPU works. And talking about the TDP, I haven't talked about that, right? So the TDP of this i9-10900K is at 125 watts, but that is basically at the base clock frequency. And when the boosting thing is happening, max turbo clock frequencies, it can easily jump to 250 watts or even above, depends. So yeah, that was about the TDP. So this is basically a really hot chip running, and you will definitely need an extremely good AIO cooler, and your basic 120 or your air coolers will not work with this CPU, not at all recommended. I would suggest you to go with something like a 280 AIO or a 360 AIO. These are only recommended. Alright, so that was our first look and our talk about this i9-10900K Intel's 10th gen CPU. So now let me tell you about the special features about the Gigabyte's Z490 Aorus master motherboard. So let's first talk like what's new on the Z490 motherboards compared to the previous Z390 motherboards. First of all, guys, there's a brand new socket on this MOBO. There's a new LGA 1200 socket. So Intel has finally decided to move from LGA 1151 to 1200 to handle maximum power capabilities, and because of this, what happens is previous gen CPUs won't be compatible on these new Z490 motherboards, and the new 10th gen CPUs won't work on your previous gen motherboards. But the good thing is these Z490 motherboards are like future proof, and when the new next gen Rocket Lake CPUs will come out, those will be easily compatible with the existing 490 motherboards. So that is one feature. And coming to the second feature, some of the manufacturers like Gigabyte and this motherboard, the Z490 Aorus Master, is future proof by having PCIe Gen 4 hardware. Even though PCIe Gen 4 is currently not supported with the 10th gen CPUs, when the future Rocket Lake CPUs will come out, these motherboards will be ready for that. And the last thing I think will be a big upgrade to the connectivity part. Previously we had Wi-Fi 5 only, now we are getting on-board Wi-Fi 6 and Bluetooth 5.0 connectivity. So these are the biggest changes I have observed on the Z490 motherboard. The Z490 Aorus Master is a beautiful looking motherboard, guys, and comes with some really good features. First, let me tell you about its extreme power design. It uses a 14-phase digital VRM solution with a 90 amp power stage for each phase. So this allows for maximum OC performance. I can't wait to put on this new CPU on this motherboard and see what kind of performance we will be getting with this whole new setup. The second thing is I have to talk about the new thermal design Mark II. So Gigabyte has updated their motherboard heatsink design and all that, like they're using a new fins array 2 heatsink, direct touch heat pipe 2, and also chunky blocks of VRM heatsinks to keep everything running cool on the motherboard. And also the motherboard supports DDR4 RAMs with XMP profiles up to 5000 MHz. That is awesome, right? So if you've got a RAM that is overclockable up to 5000 with XMP profile, you just need to put on that RAM, load the XMP profile, and boom, 5000 MHz running RAM on your motherboard. That is the coolest part. And as I've told you before, it's got latest next gen connectivity features like Wi-Fi 6 on board, Bluetooth 5.0, 2.5G LAN Ethernet support. And coming to the audio section as well, there's a huge improvement over here. Gigabyte is using hi-fi grade audio components on this board. Like it's got ESS Saber DAC for excellent quality sound, and they've used all audiophile grade capacitors. And the motherboard also supports TTS-X Ultra. So if you've got compatible headphones or speakers, you can experience the ultimate quality sound. So that's pretty much it, guys. Those were the main highlights about the Intel's new 10th Gen i9 as well as the Z490 motherboard from Gigabyte. I'm like super excited to build a new PC. Yes, I will be building an ultimate gaming PC, and I guess that will be the most fastest gaming PC ever on our channel. I will definitely be coupling it, the i9 with an extremely good GPU, like maybe a 2080 Super or a 2080 Ti. I'll have to decide which one I have to go for. And for the other components, I'll be using a powerful 360mm AIO liquid cooler, and I have to decide like what cabinet and RAM and all that stuff I'll have to use. So if you guys have any requirements, like you want to see some particular components in this Intel's build, let me know in the comment section down below and I'll try to get that. So guys, make sure you subscribe and turn that notification bell icon on, because the upcoming videos in the next few weeks are going to be totally awesome. Well, that's it for today. I hope you all enjoyed this video and got to check out these exclusive components first in India, and I hope you all enjoyed them as well. So make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more awesome videos, and I'll see you guys in my next one.